أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر صدق الله العظيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I begin in the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. I send salutations on the last of messengers, the best of messengers, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Alhamdulillah, we are currently in the month of Ramadan. We are in the best of months. We are also in the best of days, the day of Jummuah. And from amongst the days of Ramadan, we are in the best of days, the last 10 days of Ramadan, and also the last 10 nights. It comes in relation to the last 10 nights of Ramadan that the Prophet ﷺ, he used to exert all efforts in trying to do as much worship as possible. He used to do a lot of worship. He used to stay awake at night and he would engross himself in worship. He would awaken his family members due to the importance of this night. Because he himself knew that this night, all these nights, last 10 nights are very important. So not only would he stay awake and worship himself, but he would also awaken his family members and tell them to worship as well. Generally, if we look at this world and if we look at the state of affairs outside, many of us work, we do things in life, we live to earn, we earn money, we buy things with that money, we buy clothes, food, whatever. Whenever we buy anything, our mind is always focused on looking for the cheapest option generally. And in what way can we save the money? And we also look out for sales. We look out for sales. So when we're buying clothes, when we're buying something, we look out for sales. Is there sales? Can we buy things more cheap? So we can save money. We can use money in a more productive manner. So this is when it comes to worldly things, when it comes to money. But when it comes to religion, when it comes to the reason that we have come to this world, the sale for us is this month of Ramadan. Our currency is the currency of good deeds. It's not the money. Our currency is the currency of good deeds. And our sale is in this month of Ramadan, especially in these 10 days, these last 10 days and last 10 nights. That is why the Prophet ﷺ used to worship a lot, because he knew the value of these 10 days and 10 nights. That is why it comes that the Prophet ﷺ, he used to sit in i'tikaf in these last 10 days, last 10 nights. He used to sit in i'tikaf. Because when you say in i'tikaf, you're in the environment of the masjid, you're in the environment of pious angels. It's as if you're on the doorway of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you're knocking on Allah's door. So the Prophet ﷺ used to sit in i'tikaf. So the brothers that are sitting in i'tikaf, they are lucky and they are blessed. May Allah accept the i'tikaf. May Allah accept our worship and forgive our sins through the blessings and the worship of these blessed individuals that are sitting in i'tikaf. Now the Prophet ﷺ, he used to exert all efforts in these last 10 days and last 10 nights, indicating and teaching us that we need to do the same. And this is our sale for good deeds. We need to make the most of it. There's only approximately 6 days, 6 nights left. Now we need to make the most of it. We shouldn't waste our time. Allah the Almighty emphasizes on the importance of time in the Quran. He takes an oath, and we don't know if this time will ever come again. If we will be blessed with the blessed days of Ramadan again, the blessed nights of Ramadan again. If we will be blessed with these last 10 days and last 10 nights of Ramadan again. And remember, in the life of a Muslim, it's all about action. Like Allah mentions in Surah Al-Asr, the chapter of time, that man is in loss except for those individuals that believe. So those individuals that are mu'mins and believers, alhamdulillah we are believers, but also those believers that do good actions. So we need to take action. We need to take action now. We can't just leave it till tomorrow. If we're young, we can't think that we've got a long age, we've got a long time ahead of us. We can't do this because time is not guaranteed. Life and death is something that is unexpected. The time of death is unexpected. Death, obviously, we know it will come. We've got life, but the time of death is unexpected. The limit of our life is unexpected. So obviously, we need to make the most of this time and do the best that we can to help ourselves by doing as much worship as possible in these last 10 days and last 10 nights. And as we all know, Laylatul Qadr could have taken place in the past few nights, or it can still take place in the remaining nights. So we need to search for Laylatul Qadr, because obviously we don't know for certain if Laylatul Qadr has come upon us or not. But it should just be a motivation that we don't know if it's past, it could still come and occur. So we need to exert all efforts in worshipping in these last 10 days and last 10 nights, or the remainder of these last 10 days and last 10 nights, because we know that Laylatul Qadr, the night of power, is better than 1,000 months. It's better than 1,000 months. So obviously whatever worship we do, we get the reward equivalent to doing that worship for 1,000 months. So we need to make the most of it and don't let this chance be lost. And another thing that is important before the day of Eid, or on the day of Eid actually, is Sadqatul Fitr. But the reason I say before the day of Eid is because it's good to give out Sadqatul Fitr or carry out this duty, this obligation before the day of Eid. Now what is Sadqatul Fitr? Or some of us call it Zakatul Fitr as well. Now Sadqatul Fitr is a form of charity. Sadaqah, we know, means charity. Fitr means to open our fast, to break our fast. When we break our fast, we open our fast. It's known as Fitr, or even we call it Iftar as well. We do Iftar at Maghrib time. Now this charity is called the charity of Fitr because on the day of Eid, we don't fast. On the day of Eid, we are not allowed to fast. The whole Ramadan, we fasted. But now on the day of Eid and thereafter, we don't have to fast. It's not compulsory to fast. And on the Eid day, we cannot fast at all. So that is a day where we eat and drink, obviously within the boundaries of Sharia. So now out of happiness, out of gratitude that Allah blessed us with this whole month of Ramadan, where we fasted for the sake of Allah, for the pleasure of Allah. Now out of gratitude to Allah, we are giving this sadaqah. We are giving this sadaqatul fitr, this zakatul fitr. That Allah the Almighty gave us the ability to fast. He gave us the ability to worship. Now out of happiness, out of gratitude, out of thanking Him, we are giving this sadaqah, this charity. Now this zakatul fitr or sadaqatul fitr is compulsory upon those individuals who have the threshold of nisab, who have the nisab amount. So upon whom zakat is compulsory, they will have to give sadaqatul fitr. Or upon those individuals that zakat is not compulsory, but excluding their items of necessity, the items of necessity such as the household items, the household furniture, the phones or the cars of usage, these things that they use and they need on a day-to-day basis to fulfill their basic needs of our life. Other than that, if you've got any extra items and the value of that is equivalent to the nisab amount, and you have that on the day of Eid after the Fajr beginning time, so after Tulu al-Fajr, then Sadqatul Fitr becomes compulsory upon you. And the compulsion starts from on the day of Eid. So on the Fajr beginning time, after that if you have the nisab amount, then you have to give Sadqatul Fitr, and it is compulsory and it is wajib. So we shouldn't let this chance get lost. We should give in the path of Allah through happiness, out of happiness, through the pleasure and for His pleasure, for His sake. And remember, if we've got children, then we should give Sadqatul Fitr on their behalf as well. However, if the children are wealthy, meaning they have wealth in their accounts, then we give from their wealth. But if they do not have enough, then we give on their behalf. And another thing is that this Sadqatul Fitr, it's best to give before the day of Eid or before the Fajr, before the Fajr beginning time of the day of Eid, because the purpose of this Sadqatul Fitr is to give to the poor individuals. Those individuals that are worthy to receive zakat, they can receive Sadqatul Fitr. So obviously we want them to partake in the happiness of the day of Eid. So it's best to give beforehand so we can give them the happiness by giving them Sadqat al-Fitr and whatever we have collected at the time of Sadqat al-Fitr on the day of Eid. Now, when it comes to Sadqat al-Fitr, in hadith it comes that the Prophet ﷺ ordered for us to give 1 sa' of dates or 1 sa' of barley. Now, sa' is a measurement that used to be used in the Prophet ﷺ's time. And the measurement obviously has been calculated according to the kilograms and according to the measurements of our times. So 1 sa' of dates or 1 sa' of barley or half a sa' of wheat has also been mentioned in narrations. So the equivalent to that in this day and age in money is, according to this masjid, like we see in the box, or on the box is written 1,500 yens, I believe. So originally in the Prophet ﷺ's time, they used to give 1 sa' of wheat, or 1 sa' of dates, 1 sa' of barley, or half a sa' of wheat. But in this day and age, in an age where money is more beneficial for the poor and they can fulfill their needs more as compared to giving them the wheat, the barley, the dates directly, that is why it is best to give the money, the value of money instead. That is why majority of us will pay the money, the value of the measurements and the things that I mentioned. Now, remember, we have to give Sadqat al-Fitr, so make sure you fulfill this obligation and you carry out this act. If you do not carry it out, then it will be a duty upon you even to carry it out after the day of Eid. So it will become and stay compulsory upon you. So if you delay in giving it, then it will be delayed, it will be makruh and disliked. So that is why it's best to just get it over and do it, and if it's compulsory and you fulfill the criteria to give it, then it's best to carry out this. I pray Allah the Almighty give us all the ability to make the most of the remainder of Ramadan, the remaining days, the remaining nights of Ramadan. I pray Allah the Almighty give us the ability to worship Him in the best manner possible. I pray Allah the Almighty give us the ability to carry out this duty of Sadqat al-Fitr if it's compulsory upon us. And I pray Allah give us the ability to act upon everything that has been said. Amin wa akhir da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين. اللهم رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. اللهم رب ارحمهما كما ربياني صغيرا. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين والمسلمات والمؤمنين والمؤمنات الأحياء منهم والأموات إنك سميع قريب مجيب الدعوات. اللهم يا قاضي الحاجات اقض حاجاتنا. اللهم يا دافع البليات ادفع بليتنا. اللهم لا تدع لنا ذنبا إلا غفرته. اللهم لا تدع لنا ذنبا إلا غفرته. اللهم لا تدع لنا ذنبا إلا غفرته. اللهم إنا نسألك بأسمائك الحسنى. اللهم إنا نسألك باسمك الأعظم. اللهم ارحمنا بالقرآن العظيم. اللهم استر عوراتنا وأمن روعاتنا. اللهم استر عوراتنا وأمن روعاتنا. اللهم استر عوراتنا وأمن روعاتنا. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. آمين برحمتك يا رب.
Thank you.